Hit the button, man.
Very professional, doctor.
Dude.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Dealer here, back again with yet another RDX podcast. We have a ton of topics. We have a phenomenal panel tonight, and we've also got the best chat in the universe. Shout out to already over 200 of you waiting on us, guys. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, share us out, help us out a little bit while I mute this and stall a little bit. So again, I want to get into some introductions. There's so much stuff going on. We've got some information about some stuff coming next week. We got the latest on Ori and so much more. Colt Eastwood, thanks for joining us, buddy. Another week. We missed last week, but we're back. How you been?
Good. I'm really excited. This is going to be a good week to talk everything. So thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. D-Batch, man, how you been, brother?
I'm good, man. I can't wait to get into topics. We got so much shit to talk about, so much shit going down in the gaming industry. I can't fucking wait to go, man.
Yep. Fonzarelli, the grounded gamer. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? You know, already got some tomfoolery in the chat. You got Kevin Bacon saying that Sony has confirmed that Horizon Zero Dawn is the only game coming to PC.
I'm about to confirm, ban your ass, you keep lying. Hey, we've also got Zalker. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Excited for the show. It's been a long week, long 2 weeks, right? I'm finally back, and I'm happy to see the chat. Look at that. Everybody was waiting for us, man, and it's going to be a good time. Good topics. Good job, Sony.
Hey, xCloud Tim Dog, you feeling pretty good over there, brother? We're going to have a good show today.
Definitely going to have a good show. Happy to have Broken Gamers HDR here. Just ready to go, ready to get to the topics and start talking.
Let me fix that for you, Tim. It's Broken Games HD, sir. Broken Games HD of Weapon Wheel. What's going on, man? We talked a little bit ago. I wanted to have you on, get your opinion. It just so happened some real weird stuff happened today that had kind of leaked before, and it's kind of the perfect week to have you on, actually. But thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, appreciate having me on. Broken Games HDR, for people who don't know, host the Weapon Wheel podcast. Check us out. Was that Devin Haney in that Fight Night footage? Like Devin Haney. I don't know if y'all know who that is.
I have no clue.
All right.
This is Fight Night, though, running on the X backwards compatibility, and there's a couple matches where I hand the controller off to my brother. It gets fucked up pretty good, so I got to take over again. But I mean, this game is still good, and we were talking before the show started. Like,
is that what you said when you were playing King's Blood?
Did you just make your
yeah, right.
Oh, damn.
No, what happened with King's Blood is I looked over and I saw his feet going over a fence, and motherfucker ran after you lucked out for the first fight. All right, we went over this. Shut up. It's a great game, though. I can't wait for the sequel. Either way, we do have a lot of topics today, and shout out to all the channel members, all the subscribers, and all of those checking us out live. You guys are awesome. Let me get into some shout outs real quick. But yeah, thanks again, BG, for stopping by. And of course, we'll go over your information again at the end of the show. But
Appreciate it.
I got to give a shout out to patrons: Dave, the great one for real, Johnny Virtuous, Foreign Object, Teo, John Blue. We've also got Darth Chaos, the Bad Boy Live, Vec Boss, Deviator X, Obi-Wan FTW, Tasteless Genie, Scout Trooper 74, Centurion 1307 of LesionOfGamer.com, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King. We've also got to Michael Bowen, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan. We only got one Michael this time. Guillermo Cavillo, Chanagram. We've also got Naughty Nubbin, Alfonso Hogan, A Squad Gaming, Slim 73, and we've got a patron game giveaway winner, which is actually Alfonso Hogan. He wanted Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So hit me up on Twitter or Patreon, man, and I'll go ahead and get that code to you. Thank you so much for what you guys do. You guys are awesome. Horizon Zero Dawn, figure we'd crack it open real quick with this one. This one was confirmed by Guerrilla Games today, and it's coming to PC. BG, you checking this out on PC? I got it on PlayStation. I'm gonna get it on PC as well. Give it a go. See what they've done. You know, check it out. 60 FPS. What are your thoughts there? This really isn't much of a surprise to you, right?
No, not for Horizon. I mean, I platinum Horizon on the PlayStation. That's actually the last game I platinum. I don't platinum a lot of games, but I liked it that much. To me, it was the best new IP this generation. So, and I'm on PC too. So
that wasn't Sea of Thieves. The best new IP wasn't Sea of Thieves to you?
Nah, didn't do it for me. Didn't do it for me.
You got to bring it up, huh?
Didn't do it for me.
Talk that shit.
Hey, man, People tell me it's got the best title. They got the title for best water. So,
Hey, yeah. I mean, they do got that. Horizon Zero Dawn. You know what? It probably is the best new IP. Well, hang on. Tsushima could still take that. Honestly,
it's possible. But so far, some people are arguing. Some people say it's Bloodborne. I'm like, and I platinum Bloodborne too. But for me, there's two there, and I'm a huge fan of Souls game. If the Souls genre wasn't so saturated, it could be Bloodborne for me. But yeah, I mean, I got a 2080 Ti and i9, so I'm ready for Horizon.
Whatever the game could throw at you, you're ready to ultra it out. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as it coming to PC and everything like that, I don't have a problem with the way that they're doing it. As far as people make the argument that when something goes to another platform, the exclusivity loses its value. But my perspective on that is I say once an exclusive stops selling, it's already lost its value. Like when it's selling like a few thousands of copies like a week or every month, it was like Horizon was doing nothing a few days ago because it's the sales have dwindled out. It sold like a good 10 million. Okay, cool, that's great.
Probably did more than that.
But now you bring it back to PC after the sales have dwindled on one platform, and now it's the headlines all over again. So I don't have a problem with like how they're doing it.
So you base an exclusive value off of like how much it sells?
Not necessarily, not how much it sells, but as far as like as far as the business standpoint, I'm sure that's how they look at it.
Yeah, so I would just release it on everything and sell way more day one when the hype is real.
But my thing is with that. Right. Once again, this is not my perspective. This is the business perspective. If I release it on one thing, at least I have a chance to force you to at least also buy my console now. Some people might give in.
Except
Some
Sony
people might give into that.
Sony's not all about just selling you the console. That's the difference is that Sony wants to slowly warm their fans up because they know that their fans, more than any fans, are used to the idea of hiding their games behind that console. So, I mean, I bought the console for that reason. So what they're doing is, I mean, even their statement today is stating that they want to keep their fans' minds at ease, were the words he used, because they want to slowly boil the water for the Sony fans because they know they're diehard. Well, they know their diehard fan base. Well, their diehard fan base knows that if they start promising for the next Spider-Man game to go to PC and PlayStation, that they're gonna. I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow, and Xbox fans had to kind of deal with it back in 2015, and it's taken a while for everybody to warm up to it, no matter what platform you're on. And I know that Sony is looking at 250 million concurrent users on Steam. That's where Horizon Zero Dawn's going, and that is testing that water.
Yeah, I want to get into more of that here in a second, but I'll give a shout out to Wummy Hood, of course, dropping the fucking A-bomb. Looking forward to the show. Let's do this. $100 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Darsh Knight, I saw yours, but I need to find it. He says, welcome back. Have a great show. Ooh-wee. Thank you so much, sir. Do appreciate it. Go ahead, D-Bash.
I just want to say real quick here. I disagree with that. I think they're two different markets. Yes, some PC guys might have to opt and get a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 4 or whatever for a certain game, but that's very few and far between because PC guys and console guys are just two different people. Now, if you open your game up to the PC market at the same time, you're going to get a lot more people buying that game than you would actually when the hype is real. Switch over and get a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 4 or whatever. So I think it's in their best interest to release it day and date, and if not day and date, really close, like stagger it like a month or something.
Well, this is just the beginning, though, too. Like, I mean, whether people want to believe us or not, we had heard, just like how Randall broke this shit on Twitter, same people, same exact source telling us this is just the beginning. There are more headed, and it will become more and more common. And eventually, you are looking at, as we've been saying for fucking years, it's all common sense, they're going to drop stuff on more platforms to hit more people. So I don't really base an exclusive value off of how much it's selling for how long, or Call of Duty is more valuable than everything. And to me, that's not true, right? Like, I don't really give a shit about that.
It's all about the money at the end of the day, and these companies want to make as much money as possible. And when you open up your games to like 250 million whatever Steam users, that's a whole new user base. Why would you not want to tap into that and get your games out there and make more money? These companies are in it to make money. They don't really care too much about the fanboys, and unfortunately the fanboys are kind of dictating a little bit how they do business, because like Colt said, they're trying to break it in slowly to these guys, because these guys are going to go rampant.
Well, they're the minority.
The thing that they are going, like, Sony's very intelligent on that, right? Because even in the fucking article they put out where they talked about it, they said to ease minds, like to ease people's minds, we're not putting all our stuff whatever, like they said, like that to me was the quintessential mark where I was like, they're going to do this. And they're actually trying to like appease their console gamers that are out there now that are going to buy Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima before the PS5 launches and before the next year or two, where they start launching these things on PC. Like that's what's happening, people. Like that's the way I saw it. That's the way I read it. Like they're just like, no, we're still gonna have the Last of Us on there. It's okay. Like don't please. Like that's,
I think,
but the Last of Us is on PS4. Sucks on PS5 now.
I mean, I think there's a benefit to making people wait, but I hate the term day and date. I just say day one, but it is what it is. Yeah. I just hate the word day and date, the term. But I think there's a benefit to making people wait, because there are those PC gamers that are I know some that are absolutely, no matter how good a game looks, if it's not on PC, they're not getting anything else for it. They'll rather wait a decade. There are those,
right?
Rather red dead.
But there are the crossovers who prefer PC, but they'll bend to a console. There's like Black Bond. He swore he would never play at 30 FPS
Who
again.
Bond?
Black Bond, yeah, I know. But he swore he would never play at 30 FPS, right? But Breath of the Wild came out. You know what he was playing at? 30 FPS. So it takes the right game to make some people bend in that crossover section. So I think like a smart plan could be, okay, we release Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, right? We get a few PC gamers interested, right? So now we have at least their interest and their attention, if these are people who would never given the game a chance if it was on console. PS5 comes out, Horizon Zero Dawn, we still make that exclusive to PS5. At least there's the possibility of those who played it on PC, if it's not going to PC day one, at least now Sony, they have the possibility of buying our console for that if they know we're not releasing it day one.
I gotta say real quick, just to I just don't agree with that statement. I think you and I and Dealer and Colt, I think we're the rare exception that actually plays on PC and plays on console as well. Most PC guys, like, honestly, they don't fuck with consoles at all.
Nope.
They just don't fuck with consoles. And yes, you might have 1% that will fuck with consoles just for that game. But once again, if you open it up to the PC market, you're going to have far more PC guys buying that game than you would actual PC guys buying.
Hype is what carries a game in sales a lot too. And Smitty Smith in the chat, he heard something. He told us, he said, "Sully, hurry up. We're on our way to PC." Nathan Drake. So I think Sony is just a couple years behind Microsoft on this whole PC initiative, right? Whereas they look at the future, I've said it a billion times. Nobody's really set up to leverage the future like Microsoft are right now, and you got to admit that with things like Game Pass on PC, console. You've also got xCloud, which can access any 4G-enabled device. You can potentially quadruple your install base over the course of a couple months if you really, really think about it. Sony have already basically put this out there. They've already talked about how they are working on their streaming side, even preparing for a future without consoles, right? Like, they don't give a fuck about people freaking out about this. It's only going to get more common. And I feel like, it's more obvious than ever.
So, Dealer, if Sony's looking at possibly selling the PS5 at a wash, making zero profit at all on the PS5, do they care about selling consoles, or do they care about selling games?
Well, the software makes the money, and they made very, very little on PS4, and who knows?
And they make a lot of money on the services, like when they bring people into PS Plus and PS Now, they make a lot of money. Like that's a good amount of cash. But
not that they don't want to sell consoles at all, right? Like, we're not saying that, but obviously everyone knows the games are the gas to the car, which is that expensive console you got to buy just to buy that gas, which is what they profit off of. Everyone knows that.
Well, I got to say this, Broken Games. I get what you're saying by I don't agree with it, but I get what you're saying. Like, oh, it forces them to buy the console or something like that. But to me, I don't give a flying fuck about that as a gamer. I want the game wherever it is I want to play it at. If somebody wants the game on PC, like my buddies, like I have a lot of friends that just play PC and they don't even fuck with console. And it's like, all right, cool, whatever. But I don't care. I don't want to make an excuse for Sony. Get it on PC. Do whatever you got to do, like invest money in it, whatever you got to do, develop for it. Like that's just better for all of us gamers. Like, yeah, you might get a PS5 and we could play it on there. I don't give a fuck about their pockets.
Play it on the Ouya, bitch.
No, but that's why I said before I said any of that, I said from their business perspective. I said there. I never said anything for me.
What's your perspective though?
If it was day one on PC, I'm buying it on PC.
Oh shit! He said fuck PlayStation.
Okay, so that's your perspective. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was day one, you'd buy it on PC. Would you buy a PS5?
If for me to not buy a PS5, I would have to know that every PlayStation game is going to be day one on PC.
So you don't prefer like the PlayStation ecosystem over PC? Like I prefer the console experience over something like PC myself. You don't care about that stuff?
I prefer having my credit card shit stolen too. Yeah.
Like with PC, like I talk about it all the time, the headaches I run into with PC, because with PC, like one thing could be out of place and it can stop a game from running. That's one of the headaches. One file goes missing, like so that gets on my nerves about PC. But for me, if I'm the type of person where I will own a console for one game. If I know at least one game that I want is coming, I'll own the console for that. So that's why for me, it'll take every game going to PC day one for me to not buy a PlayStation 5, because I also don't like waiting. I typically don't wait for like if there's a timed exclusive that I know is coming to PC next year, but it's going to be on consoles now. I'm not about to wait a year. I mean, I'm thinking about doing that with Neo 2, only because Neo looks disgusting on PlayStation, even the Pro. The visuals are disgusting, especially in action mode. So that's the only game I'm thinking about waiting the PC version. But typically, I don't wait. I just buy it like day one.
Do you know anybody who said, "Hang on, I'm waiting for the PC version of Death Stranding," or because they knew that was coming?
I don't know. I think there's maybe some people that did wait, but I don't know.
I know you love that delivery simulator. I know you loved it.
No, I hate that trash. But like, even if Red Dead, right? Even if they told us Red Dead when it launched on console, if they told us the exact date is going to be on PC, I still would have bought it on console, because I just don't think it's worth waiting for, even though it's much better on PC. I just don't think the experience is just too good to wait for.
I don't. It was something we do on this show, and I know you've listened to it at least a little bit. I know you've talked about it a little bit, but surely you've heard about kind of our outlook on, like, we don't give a fuck what benefits Microsoft. Like, we're not getting paid by them, right? If they can bring their games to more platforms, as long as I can play it on the one that I want, that's really what matters. And Zalker kind of brought it all back to that, whereas like, fuck what Sony wants, fuck what benefits them. I'm thinking about what benefits me, and I'll actually buy the game on multiple platforms sometimes, depending on how good the game is. So, you know, there's a lot of different types of gamers out there, Fonz.
You got a lot of guys like me that'll also buy every console just to buy every console. I mean, look, I bought the original Xbox One, not because I had to have a game that was on that system, but because I just wanted the console when I originally bought it.
That's an expensive
that's how it is though. Every generation I buy all the consoles. It happens. It ends up happening. I got a Switch now, and I don't even use the damn thing. But I have it.
I'm right there with you.
That's just how it is with me, and it's how it'll always be. And I see the benefit of having these exclusives to Sony. I mean, look, they sold 100 and something million, consoles because of this. And
but one of the benefits to opening that up to 300 or 400 million more users, though.
Yeah,
is it more beneficial?
And that's the thing. In the future, I do see them putting more games out on the PC. Of course, I do.
Right.
Because the potential for a money making is there, and it's going to happen. They're seeing what's going on now with Game Pass. They're seeing what's going on now with Microsoft and what they're doing with their games straight to PC as well. They're going to want a piece of that too. But at the end of the day, is it going to be day and date? I don't know. Like just a few shows ago, we were talking about this, and I've already been thinking that it might be staggered a bit. You might have to wait a few months before it comes onto the PC, but it will happen nonetheless. It will happen. So
I think I think it's going to happen sooner than people think. Because I understand you're saying they sold 100 million consoles, and hey, they fucking murdered it this generation, right? Like they had some of the best games. God of War, like it's one of the best games I've ever played. I love it, but at the same time, people are changing. The competition's changing. Xbox has changed a lot.
Of course,
like,
the
everybody
industry
on here
itself
is
is changing. Zucker.
Well, the whole
industry
exactly. So if they stay the same and do the same thing, like it's just, that's insanity to me. Like you can't do that. You have to adapt to what the market is.
You know, the Amazon and Google are their competition because they're the only ones with the server reach that Microsoft have, right? So
exactly.
Elemental Pio, by the way, says, yeah, they might put games on PC, but they'll run like trash and people will get it on the PS5. Yeah, that's a possibility as well. It'll be interesting, Broken Games, to see how well their game Horizon runs on the PC. I wonder how optimized it'll be.
I mean,
I think that'll be good.
Death Stranding was they don't actually. Now that I think about it, Death Stranding and Horizon Zero Dawn are going to end up coming around the same time, isn't it? June or something?
This summer, yeah, I think that's what they said.
Yeah, so I guess you could say that Death Stranding might be like a little test because it runs on the same engine. But I mean, Guerrilla Games knows what they're doing, like technically. So I'm not really worried about the performance part of it.
If anybody makes fun of it because it runs bad on PC and they're like, haha, PC gamers, you're a fucking idiot. You should be getting pissed off at Sony for not optimizing it right. Just like if Microsoft brought out a game on PC and it did shitty, just like Rocksteady brought out fucking Batman Arkham Knight on PC and people had to get refunds. Like, if it's bad, it's on the developer and the publisher.
Hey, D-Batch, I won't throw it to you in a second. I want to go to Tim Dog, but I got a S. Vitterman. He says, hey, I got a Sony X900 4K TV. Do I need to upgrade to basically max out the Xbox Series X? That TV does not support HDMI 2.1 or a 4K 120 hertz panel there. So you might want to, I don't know, it depends, man. It's a lot of money to drop for what you'll probably not see a fuck ton of, right?
We get this question a lot, like almost every day. I would just like to remind people, if you have a 4K HDR TV, like a good HDR TV that does 60 hertz, you're going to get the majority of the benefit of next generation.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to miss out on the 120 hertz.
At 4K anyway,
yeah. You'll still see the ray tracing.
Just make sure you got a good 10-bit panel, great HDR, man, and at least 60 FPS, and you're really going to get a 90%, a 99% really of what I'm excited about.
I think the majority of next gen games are going to be 4K 60. I think like maybe a Forza or like an Ori on the system might do 4K 120, but most games are going to be 4K 60. If anything, the old games like the PS4 games, the Xbox One games, those ones may run at 4K 120, and still I don't think it's going to be a lot of them.
No.
So
which console are you talking about?
Series
4K
X.
60.
Series X.
I see no reason why it shouldn't, but developers usually always get greedy when it comes to things that they can improve visually, like using technology and things they can improve.
I'd rather it be that way.
We're not. You know what? I'm gonna kill this right now. Honestly,
go ahead.
Generation, we're not gonna be stuck on 30 frames per second. That's gonna be a thing of the past.
And D doesn't mean native 4K. They're going to be using interpolation. They're going to be using resolution scaling to keep the game as close to your 4K.
Okay, if you're talking about dynamic, that's
it's not even that far. I think they're going to go with like 1440p and 120 if they do anything like that. Yeah, I really don't think.
What are you guys smoking, man? Have you guys?
What I'm smoking is this is a $500 to $600 box. This is not a computer.
I think you got too much faith in them, honestly.
If we let's not talk about the PlayStation 5 because we don't have the full specs of it. The Xbox Series X is already confirmed at 12 teraflops of the second generation of RDNA architecture.
Do you know how many computers out there can run at 4K 120 hertz?
Whoa, Fonz, this isn't a computer from 2018 or 2017.
Okay, hold on a second. First of all, this is the second generation of RDNA, so it's a lot more efficient. You got 50% 50%
over RDNA 1, blah, 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 blah.
It's going to be fantastic. Now, if you look on PC now with what we have, which is lesser than that, it's running 4K 60 on a lot of games. Hold on a second. These consoles, I don't know why everyone thinks these consoles.
I'm going to crush you, D, right now. I'm going to crush you, brother. Yes, I will.
These consoles are not old school consoles. These
Four words.
Are basic.
You got to confirm if you're talking about third party or first party, by the way.
These consoles are basically PCs.
Hardware-based ray tracing. hardware-based ray tracing. They're pushing this like Broken Games HDR just said. They are going to push the visuals to the limits with these consoles, and you are not going to see 120 hertz 4K.
He didn't say 120 4K. He said
he did.
He's talking about
Ori
60
and
FPS.
Forza.
No. I said the odd game will see it 120 hertz.
Fonz crushed himself by not being over to here.
Even even then, no, I didn't. I crushed him because even then, an Ori and the Will of the Wisp is not going to run full 4K HDR at 120.
Are you kidding me?
Per second. It's not
yes,
going
it will.
Anyways,
yes, it will. They've already said they are probably going to do that. The developers themselves have already basically confirmed that.
We also have on these next generation consoles variable rate shading, which is going to help.
Hang on a second, D. Did Fonz just say Ori couldn't do 4K 120 on something like a fucking Series X?
Come on.
They're going to be pushing hardware-based ray tracing and stuff. These games are going to be limited to a
Fonz,
degree.
I know exactly. Hang on a second. Holy shit. Everyone calm the fuck down real quick. This has gotten crazy. D-Batch is having a stroke in the background. Fonzarelli's trying to figure out some
Dealer the floor.
$600 box is not going to bring you miracles, people.
No,
Stop with that. It's going to be an amazing console.
You didn't even believe it was going to be 12 teraflops when we told you, Fonz.
I'm sorry to
I can see a lot of 4K 60 games, but you're going to have issues there with certain games. You will, even at 60 frames, because they're pushing things like hardware-based ray tracing.
Count on it. I got to disagree with you here. 4K 60 is going to be the norm for the next generation game.
Hold on, real quick.
Hold on a second. PC later this year, they're going to be going up to 18, 20 teraflops. PC is going to start pushing 4K 120 frames per second. So it makes sense. Okay.
And then Fonzarelli's a very adamant tech expert now.
Let me say something. Let me say something. Right now, the Xbox One X with that crappy Jaguar mobile chip in it is doing games like Wolfenstein and Doom at 80+% of 4K at 60 FPS. Now, this CPU that's in the Xbox Series X is how much faster, dealer?
They said officially 4x, but it's probably more around almost double that if you look at how many frames it's capable of putting out.
So what I said, and D was kind of like trying to push that aside. What I said is this dynamic 4K. We're not talking about RTX, NVIDIA ray tracing. We're talking about AMD's solution, which is already they're saying 30 to 40% more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody heard the same thing?
Like this is a better RTX has already gotten a lot more efficient since it's even been out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean. I know I agree where Fonz is going. Like, this isn't going to do miracles, but this kind of hardware, it's not asking that much for dynamic 4K 60 with ray tracing on if the developers put that in there. But I also want the developers to push on bigger worlds, better physics.
Here's what I'm going to say. I hope that they have a situation where if they do push these graphic, like if they try to innovate in the graphics to the point where it is going to mess up with the frame rates, like hardware-based ray tracing just might. I hope that they have an ability to shut that off in the game. Because
hang on. I've already covered this. Like, I get what you're saying. You're saying ray tracing is going to crush frame rates and cripple the GPU, which isn't the case. I've already tested this today. I've tweeted about how I tested this on a 2080. Believe it or not, Series X will be faster than the 2080. Don't you motherfuckers will wait and see. And just by enabling checkerboarding, that makes up the cost of ray tracing. I've already tested this. So let's say they can have multiple modes like they do today. If they have a ray tracing mode, boom, just checkerboard it. Or maybe just checkerboard it from the beginning and increase fidelity from the beginning, right? But Digital Foundry have already tested a 4 teraflop RDNA 1 GPU, right? And there's a reason they've compared X to GCN RX 580 very often, because they ran pretty similar. And the X actually outperformed it on several games like Far Cry 4 because it had more memory bandwidth, things like that, right? So keep that in mind. So if they're testing 4 teraflop RDNA 1, right? And they're testing 4 teraflop RDNA 1 for something like Lockhart, which is real. And they're getting 144 frames per second on Wolfenstein 2 at 1080p, Fonz. Like, really consider these things. Like, this is legitimate performance that's coming.
Here's my problem with what D said, though. He said the majority of games, meaning that you're putting a lot of faith in these third-party developers.
There's always a variable there
to do the right thing and prioritize the power they have into performance. I don't have that type of faith in them. You're gonna lay out this console, this dev kit when they get it, and you're gonna be thinking like, oh, they're gonna be thinking about performance. They're thinking about everything else we can include now. Besides that, Xbox first party, I think the first party studios are absolutely going to be like, yeah, 4K 60, higher than that. We're going to prioritize the performance and everything like that, make it optimized. I don't think you can count on a Ubisoft to do that. I don't.
I'm just hoping it ain't the same damn game with different mechanics.
What if you run into a case where like you have visuals like or in Hellblade 2, and they say, hey, and I'm not just pointing them out.
Well,
game. Can I make my point, Grounded?
Yeah.
What if you get a developer will say, hey, we can only push the limit so far, but we're going to be 30 frames per second. And I think that's where it comes down to. Is it comes down to the developer, and not all third-party guys are going to be, hung up on 60. I do believe you're still going to see some 30 frames per second. Do I think it's going to be as predominant as it was this generation? No, it'll probably be switched. But I don't think the idea of there's going to be no more 30 frames per second games is they're going away, just for the reason because you will have a developer say, hey, I want to push the most fidelity I can. Stop backing your truck up, D. And do it with obviously we probably can't hit 60, but we can hit 30.
And let's not pretend every engine has ray tracing and all that stuff. It'll get more and more common. But
I think ray tracing is very overrated as it is right now. By the way, like I know it's early. Developers are I'm sure going to improve on how they implement it, but I mean I've seen it in person. I've ran it myself. I've seen all the videos Digital Foundry did on the difference, and I'm like all okay, some accurate realistic lighting for this much tax on performance. I can't see the worth of it right now. Like it's just not worth it at all to me. It's overrated, very overrated.
I think it'll come in handy in custom scenes and all that stuff. I think like real-time gameplay. When more and more developers start using it, they're going to find really, really neat ways to use it, I think. But right now it is kind of limited.
I also think people are underestimating variable rate shading. That's going to make a huge difference. I'm hearing in testing right now that it's increasing frame rate by like up to 50%. That's ridiculous.
I wanted to make a point to Tim's point. He brought up Hellblade 2. Tim, did they mention what that was going to run at frames wise?
No, but when they did the Digital Foundry actually did the breakdown of the
Who's
video.
typing a paper?
It was 4K, 24 frames.
24 frames per second, exactly.
But that was just to show off,
and I know that's exactly. It's to show off the graphics, right? And this is the thing, like Broken Games is right. And this is the kind of stuff I was telling you even months ago, Dealer. We were getting into these like talks about the Series X and what it's going to be able to do, and I kept saying with the innovation of the hardware always comes innovation with these games and the graphic fidelity and the things they try to push forward. And they will always go for that because you have more times than not people out there, especially console gamers that really don't know anything about frames. They would rather have the visuals.
And they'll give you a mode like they do on the X today.
And that's the only thing we can pray for. But I'm just saying, when
Microsoft are touting 120 FPS.
To D was the fact that he was saying that, like, oh, it's going to be 4K 60, 4K 120 from here on. We shouldn't get these 30 frames games. No, slow your roll. I think we will.
No. I'm sorry. I got to disagree with you because the CPU in this system, like, I don't know, you got people that don't understand how the hardware works.
Yeah.
The CPU that's in the system, like, it's a lot. It's a quantum leap above what we have now. Games will be 4K 60. Now, will the odd game not hit 4K 60? Sure. Will they have to use some dynamic resolution? Sure. Will the odd game maybe be stuck at 40 frames per second and you're using variable refresh rate? Sure. But the majority of games will be 4K.
I don't even see that. I don't even see that bottleneck.
Target.
All right.
I don't even think devs even went to
now what I'm saying though, like, and what I've always said is checkerboarding, interlacing, all that stuff's going to come into play. The bottleneck will never be on the CPU side that I ever see happening this upcoming generation. With like what's likely 16 threads, even if it were half that, eight actual physical cores and no SMT. The bottleneck just isn't there for them not to be able to do 60 FPS. The bottleneck would be on the GPU side. That's where the interpolation, the checkerboarding comes into play.
And the funny thing is though, like Fonz and Broken, is that a lot of the, like, even what Phil said, what everybody said, like, it's all about like immersion, performance. Like, that's all they've talked about is like And then even the balance between the GPU and the CPU, right? Like they've said it's out of whack this generation. Like they don't want that again. They want to make it equal, or at least have better balance between it. And that's, I don't know, man. I kind of agree with D and like what kind of Dealer is saying, that like, yeah, okay, there might be some outliers, but I think most games are going to be running at 60. And I just see it, like if not, then they did a disservice to us, honestly.
If not, what's the point?
Hold on, Lone Star made a good point. He says it's not up to the it's up to the developers, not the hardware, what these games run.
Exactly.
And these developers do not want to run their games at 30 frames.
No.
That or you're getting an option like you do today, right, Cole?
Yeah, I'm playing Plague's Tale Innocence. The game's gorgeous. It's such a great game, but DeSoto does not want that game running at 30 frames.
No.
It's a compromise to them, to visuals and the way the game feels and looks. And like that, just think about that CPU in the Xbox One X, the Pro, the PS4, the base Xbox. Like it's like us just they're squeezing that neck.
We're talking
there's nothing you can do sometimes in most of these games.
Yeah, but
and dealers covered this so well that you could lower the visuals all you want or try and lower the resolution. You still can't get 60 frames on some of these games on those consoles because of that bottleneck.
Yeah,
and that bottleneck's not there. They've set, because Zocker's just saying, Phil says they want performance. He also said this is the most balanced console we've ever had.
Yeah, and then other developers have come out and have said, like, yeah, it is extremely easy to get to 60 on the next gen.
Shadow Warrior 2 developer talked about it.
Exactly, yeah. And they said it's extremely, and they said we make action games and that frame rate helps us. And it's just like they're like, yeah, it's like a joke almost at how easy it is to get there. Like that's how powerful these things are going to be.
Well, I think D nailed on the head. Certain people understand like what this is, and a lot of people didn't believe us in the first place when we were talking about how much power this is going to be. And I guess once again, motherfuckers have to wait and see. We do want to talk about PS5 real quick. I've never been accused of saying shit I didn't say so much in my fucking life. RDNA 2, these dumb motherfuckers can't even listen to a video correctly. RDNA 2, at least by AMD, isn't officially confirmed. We can all agree on that. Sony hasn't officially confirmed it yet. But as we've talked about several times in the past, way before any of this happened, ray tracing is an RDNA 2 feature. We've known it has elements of RDNA 2, or it wouldn't have the fucking ray tracing, correct? So, to begin with, PlayStation 5 could be just as RDNA 2 as the Xbox Series X, which even on my specs video for that, I said I still think that's a hybrid in some way. There's no way they need every RDNA 2 feature, some of them built for server grade stuff, etc., right? So either way, I think we were talking about last time we talked about it here, D. I said either way, it doesn't matter. Either way, it's going to be fucking badass. People are hung up on this RDNA 2 thing, trying to hand out an L instead that fucking flips around, stabs them in the eye because they're fucking stupid. Like, what are your thoughts on this, D? When you heard this, they said consoles with an S, but we also know that Lockhart's a thing. Like, do you think 100% possibility? I think, of course, RDNA 2 features already confirmed, like ray tracing, but how in-depth do you think they're going to go with this? Do you think they'll go as in-depth as Microsoft?
Yeah, see, the thing is that Sony hasn't announced anything on the PlayStation 5. All we have is the logo. So they're not going to steal Sony's thunder and start announcing the features of their console for starters. Well, now I watched the whole investors webcast, and when they were saying this, they had the graphic of the Xbox and the PlayStation 5 up there when they were detailing this. Now it's just common sense that the PlayStation 5 has hardware ray tracing, that it's RDNA 2, because it's not present on the first generation of RDNA. So for efficiency reasons, and just for the simple fact that RDNA 2 is the GPU that has ray tracing cores, it's RDNA 2. Instead of people just being excited that the PlayStation 5 is going to have RDNA 2, I don't know why they're descending into all of this fucking nonsense. Like, just
it makes sense, right?
It's going to be capable. It does make sense. And Sony, eventually they're going to announce it that it's fully RDNA 2 enabled, and then everyone can shut up. But Sony hasn't said anything. Sony is so fucking quiet. It's unbelievable. And from a business standpoint, I don't understand it. Why would you let your competition steal all your thunder? Because Xbox is getting a lot of mind share.
We know why they're quiet though. We know that.
Yeah, but here goes my alarm.
You're fucking in a submarine right now. Your sonar's going off. Yeah, I mean, Sony are a little quiet because they know they're underpowered overall. Like, that's the thing, though. When somebody plays a clip of me reading a fucking article, a website saying it's RDNA 1, right? Reading the source and then linking it. They don't know when they're sitting there celebrating thinking, oh, they're both RDNA 2. That means they're the same. Fuck no, they're not the same. There is a drastic performance delta between the two, or there should be. And, you know, that's basically what Microsoft thinks. So there's also probably going to be a $100 price difference as well.
I
gotta
want to
ask
touch
you,
on
though,
something real quick here before I let you go, Fawn. Sorry. I saw some people running today with the Tech Power Up site and the specs on that site. And I have to, you know, tell everybody here, it's not 13 teraflops. Like, oh, look at the PlayStation 5 specs. Tech Power Up is basically...
They've since added, this is all based off speculation. It wasn't that way when we reported on it.
Rumors,
it's always been, in my opinion, a placeholder site. So it's just a placeholder based on, you know, rumors, leaks, and, you know.
You remember when Series X went down to 11.3 teraflops on that site for a few days, and then it changed real quick.
All of a sudden, it was gospel. Yeah.
Trust me, if Sony had a more powerful console, they'd be yelling and screaming at it. Trust me.
Hey, Ashton Lucas says, shout out to BG for coming on. Pumpkin pie only. Have a good show, guys. Thank you so much, Luca.
Yeah.
How do we know that that, you know, even the Xbox is fully RDNA 2 and not just some sort of hybrid?
I just said it. I think it is some sort of
It's full RDNA. They actually confirmed that it's full RDNA. Now it would make it's
See,
not
I
like
didn't see that.
we're not doing Lego blocks here, right? So it makes no sense for them not to have RDNA for it to be fully compatible. Now
Okay, but D, come on, you know
just
that's
let D finish
kind
his
of
point,
about.
Bonds, real quick.
AMD has switched
I
their
know why there's so much confusion with this, and I don't even know if D knows this, but there's so much confusion around this, and people don't know what's going on. They're talking about RDNA 2 and RDNA 1 out of their asses. They're trying to get people saying that this is that. The fact is that for last week, if you were full RDNA, you were under 7 nanometer EUV, which is I guess their signature, or plus. And what that means is that your density per transistor, the transistors that are close to each other, the way they rate the nanometers, was 15% closer than 7 nanometers. Okay. Now what that means is that they were saying before this week that the only true RDNA 2 is under that fabrication, okay?
Yeah, we heard that for months, right?
Okay, we heard that for months. The fact of the matter is I always knew that both PlayStation and Xbox were both 7 nanometers because I asked them questions, and I know people who knew about the fabrication.
Let me translate what you just said. So RDNA 2 on PC, you're saying is 7 nanometer plus. On the consoles, it is custom. It's 7 nanometer.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, but see, it was listed by AMD until the leak, or no, until their show that they had
7 nanometer plus. Yeah.
Okay, and then they basically said that 7 nanometer EUV will be used sparingly. We are moving on to basically, which is another closer transistors to density, which is 5 nanometer. Okay, and then they coupled everything, including the power performance and all the benefits that you would get up from an RDNA 2 onto one. So whatever they did, they basically changed the way RDNA 2 and RDNA 1 was classified.
They're copying 7 nanometer plus RDNA 2 features over to 7
and
nanometer.
They threw it onto that, and they said, "Hey, we're kind of moving away from 7 nanometer plus, and we're moving on to 5 nanometer."
They're going to skip over plus
so
and go to 5.
That's where the whole confusion got, and that's where everything was like this is RDNA 2. So the fact of the matter is before last week, Xbox was never RDNA 2. Okay, if you listen to the way even Phil talked about it and everyone, they say it carries RDNA technologies, all right, which is the technologies now that they basically took everything that they were supposedly pigeonholed for 7 nanometer plus, and they said, no, it's going on to 7 nanometer, which affected both PlayStation and Xbox. Now they get the power for whatever, the 50% power performance, and they get all those benefits that they were assuming for 7 nanometer plus.
So what you're saying is things change.
Things change, AMD's change. that nobody understands this because this is
Yeah.
at a very high level. Even myself, I asked, shout out to Albert. I asked Albert a lot of these questions. Albert has a firm understanding of this, and he can tell me in layman terms and kind of break it down where I can somewhat get an idea. But the whole thing this week was all thrown over on its head because people didn't understand what happened. Basically, AMD said, no, we're not going 7 nanometer plus with RDNA. That's going to be now 7 nanometer.
Yeah.
RDNA 3 is going to be 5 nanometer.
Also, too, I want to add real quick. They also have CDNA GPUs. So what they did is they separated, their heavy compute stuff from the gamer side, and they put it onto like the server side. So you'll have 2 separate GPUs now, and that kind of frees up the gaming GPUs for them to add more ray tracing cores and more gaming centered features on those GPUs. So these RDNA 2 GPUs they're gonna blow people's minds. I can't wait.
But what I was getting at earlier is so what we're all in agreement here is that this is not full RDNA 2.
Well, it is now.
It is RDNA 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it is for AMD.
But it's still in a way hybrid.
Okay,
if that makes sense.
It's either a hybrid or it's full RDNA 2.
The definition of RDNA 2 just changed. Is what he just.
Here's the thing, because
let me explain real quick. Hold on a second. It is RDNA 2. Now, RDNA 2, they were also going to do on a 7 nanometer plus. Now, like Tim told you, AMD clarified this, that they're not saying that anymore. Some things will be created, on their EUV method. Some things will just be done to 7 nanometer. The regular, it's actually a new process. It's not even the old process for the 7 nanometer. It's a newer process, but it's just not going to be 7 nanometer plus. It has all of the features that you get from RDNA 2, everything. The only thing that you're going to, hold on a second. The only thing that you're going to lose from 7 nanometer plus is a little bit more efficiency. That's it.
Density.
See, this kind of sounds like what, say Samsung does with their TVs, and they give you HDMI 2.1 features without actually giving you full HDMI 2.1.
Listen.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing because they already classified the
I'm starting to fall asleep.
RDNA 2 has 50% more performance per watt. That's the metric that counts.
Yeah. So what Dee's saying is you get that efficiency, you get that extra performance of the newest architecture, and everything else is kind of mashed potatoes. And it's going to work. It's going to be great. Who gives a fuck? It's going to be amazing. Even if it was RDNA 1, it's still stronger than the 2080. PS5 is still going to be fucking badass, and hopefully those are coming at the right price point.
The only thought I have on this, so I care about, I would say, specs in the general overarching way, right? I don't care about the every minute detail. The reason I don't,
done, you just want it. Right?
I look at the specs, I check them out, all the details, but I don't necessarily care about every minute detail. The reason is because I think virtually both of these consoles are going to be very similar. They're going to end up being very similar. Not exactly, but virtually the same, right?
In what way? Overall power?
In overall and what the developers are able to do with it. Virtually, not down to every single number, right? And the thing is, the only thing I disagree with is I don't think that power is I do think that the PlayStation 5, and I know there's rumors of it there being multiple ones of it, whatever. Regardless, the one that they're gonna release, right? At first,
the PS5.
Do I think it's gonna be less powerful than the Series than the Series X? Because they're saying that there's rumors that both are gonna have multiple. I mean, it seems like Xbox is definitely gonna have multiple. Rumors that PlayStation might have multiple.
Yeah.
Right. Pretty much. I don't think that the reason they're staying quiet is because it's less powerful. I do think it's less powerful, but I don't think that's the reason why they're quiet. I think they're quiet is because they were just simply unprepared for when Microsoft announced. Nobody thought they were going to announce and get all their rocks off and consistently be talking from the point where they announced it and released all this information about it. I think they were just unprepared and...
I think it's definitely power, though, and I kind of know firsthand from, at least why Microsoft think they're quiet. I think that this is much like the Pro. They were quiet as fuck on that. They knew they were not able to get as much performance out of that because they weren't targeting the same price point, and Microsoft wasn't coming out the same year that year. But this time around, they have not talked power one time. Mark Cerny hasn't said power one time. It's all been about load times, and I think they're talking about what they're probably going to be better at. I think they may have an advantage when it comes to load times. But other than that, man, it should be a wash as far as what I know. And again, they're not targeting the same damn price points, to my knowledge. So
no. And also, too, I want to add, like, they'll be similar in a way, but at the same time, the Xbox Series X, it's gonna have a more capable GPU. It's gonna have more ray tracing cores. Right there, that's gonna be a difference between them.
So
Also,
y'all think the X is going to be $599?
Also,
no, I think PS5 is coming in at 400. I could be wrong, but we'll see.
Also, too, the Xbox Series X. I don't know if you guys watched the AMD webcast last week, but they're introducing DXR 1.1. This is a new form of ray tracing, the latest and greatest, and it's going to be on the Xbox Series X. It's going to be on PC as well. That's another advantage for Microsoft.
Well, we don't know if Sony might have that or not.
Well, Sony cannot use DXR 1.1. They can't use DXR because they don't.
Oh, you're talking about the API? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they don't use that operating system, so they have to find another way to get that ray tracing performance on their console. And in my opinion, I don't think Sony's as good at software as Microsoft is, especially in the API department. Let's just be honest here. So I think they're going to be a disadvantage there. I think that ray tracing will just become the de facto version of ray tracing, just because it's already on PC on the NVIDIA cards, and developers will be porting this to PC, and it's just going to be the de facto method. And as well, the variable rate shading. Microsoft has the patented version of variable rate shading, and once again, they'll have an advantage with the API. They'll have an advantage with the
Sony
developers.
will have an alternative, though.
Yes, Sony will have variable rate shading too, but because it's patented by Microsoft, they have to get to it through a different method. Right?
Yeah, Microsoft's algorithm, their version for processing it's patented, but variable rate shading is on PC today. I mean, it's one of those things. I didn't plan on spending this much time on the tech stuff, but when it comes down to it, as we've always said, both will be pretty badass, getting both day one. I think PS5 will hit 4, Series X will hit 5. We will see. I was told, and I know Tim was told, that they're not going to mess up on price here. So, that's one of those things where only time will tell. They fucked up before. They could do it again. If they're bold and they're smart, then they will definitely target 3 and 5. And I think they plan on Sony coming in the middle. And remember that Bloomberg stuff, none of that's confirmed by Sony. And 450 just seems like a weird round number to me. So I think that, some of that stuff. Even their CFO said we need to get the price down. We need to run enough initial units so we can get the PlayStation 5's price point under control. He's not saying we need to get it down so we can make $80 a console, something that's never really been done before. He's saying that we're basically targeting $399. That's why we need to get the price down, because we don't want to take a big-ass loss on this thing, if any at all.
I'll say this. If the Xbox Series X lands at $500 with all the performance that's within that console, wow, man, that's an amazing feat.
By the way, this is how much different. This is how you know they've come along in efficiency, and they've come along in the way that these things are produced. The power cord on the back of that Series X is only capable of transferring 250 watts. That means that you were getting this kind of fucking crazy ass performance for probably the same exact power supply as inside the X1X today, a 245 watt. That's fucking nuts. If you know anything about this tech stuff, you understand the crazy amount of power that is for 245 watts, 250 watts to come through that cord and power this thing. That's absolutely insane. Technology doesn't get more expensive just because it gets better and better performance year over year. We got 5x boost in power, 12 gigs of GDDR5, over the 3 of DDR3, a 4K Blu-ray player for the same price as Xbox One in 2013, a few years later, though it had a Kinect, but even the PS4 Pro,
so
double
my
the power
major
in a couple
concern,
years.
right? My major concern is it's going to be powerful. I think everybody's major concern is the creativity and the direction with some of the Xbox first party developers, right? Now, because there's every game is not going to be for you. I got that.
I wish more were though.
But there are some games where, and this is not only for Xbox. There's plenty of games on like PlayStation where I'm like this. I'm kind of selfish. I say anything that's not for me is trash. I admit that I'm selfish in that way, right? So I've said Dreams is trash. Death Stranding is trash. All of that. But there's just a lot of games where I'm looking at from the Xbox first party devs, and I'm like, who's buying this? You mean to tell me like you look at this game and you think like this looks good. Like I'm not only talking about visually, I'm talking about from a gameplay.
I mean, that's the problem that
standpoint.
we've talked about. Like, and our own chat doesn't like it, but I say everyone can. Like I said, you like ketchup, motherfucker. I don't gotta like it, right? Like, I am not excited for anything this year except for Halo, Ori. Even now that I'll be playing it tonight. And we'll go into Ori here in a minute, guys. But Halo, Ori, and maybe the new Forza. Hopefully there's a new one this year. It's been 3 years since a motorsport game. It's like GT Sport to the next one. Like, it's been several years. Maybe you're ready for another Gran Turismo if you're a racing fan. I'm ready for another motorsport. It's been 3 years. So those three this whole year. And some people are excited for, fucking Wasteland Remastered, which came out. I'm like, well, that's not me. I'm like you. Like, I voiced this over and over. We need more big blockbuster games, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But then we get people saying, "Well, great game's a great game."
Yeah,
I know
and it's
that.
not only big. It's not only big because, like, I think Cuphead is amazing. That's. You can't
but then I
Cuphead.
go and I pre-ordered Ghost of Tsushima whatever the fuck it was, a couple days ago, and I'm like, "Fuck! I wish I didn't have to play this here. Like, I'd rather play this on my Xbox, something like this, right?" So,
yeah.
I mean, that to me just holds more weight than something like Cuphead. But I get it. You're into Cuphead. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about Cuphead.
It's just like, who's into Grounded? That's the type of like who wants this. Right?
I don't know, man. Anybody hyping up Dreams better not be talking shit about Grounded. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I'm not
Here's
into
tactics, bitch.
And Zalker, I mean, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And by the way, shout out to over 1,200 people watching this, guys. Thank you so much for what you do. Share this out, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button. Let's try to get up to 600-700 for the end of the show, 1,000 after the fact. Again, you guys are fucking awesome. The best chat in the universe. We've had a lot of awesome people in the comments. Can't keep up with it all. But thank you guys for what you do. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Zalker. 91 meta. I just checked before the show. Maybe that's changed since, but 91 meta, even with the bugs and stuff we're hearing about from some people, that's that's pretty damn good. I'm happy. I'm not one of those that said Metascore don't matter. I think a better Metascore, it only drives hype for the brand. It gets the fans excited. Not saying you can't enjoy a bad Metascore game. I like State of Decay too, right? You love Sea of Thieves, but like, what's your thoughts on Ori and the Will of the Wisps? We'll be playing this tonight.
Yeah, it's actually I thought I downloaded this morning, but it didn't. I don't know why. So I'm downloading it right now. It has 20 minutes to download, or 15. So I'm gonna be playing that tonight. I'm not the biggest Ori fan, like a lot of people. Like Rand, I know Rand loves that fucking Ori. So, and he put out an awesome review today. People, you should check it out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to just playing it. I heard it looks amazing from what the reviews have said. I'm glad it's highly rated, right? Like, I don't want any game to be bad. Like, honestly, like Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, whatever. I want it to be highly rated. If I'm going to play it, I want it to be damn good. I don't want it to suck.
It don't hurt.
I don't want people to hate
right?
on it. It doesn't hurt anything, right? Like, it just helps gamers. So yeah, and then, to be honest, like I said this in my last video, I do think like Moon Studio, right? It's an exclusive to Xbox, right? This is published by Xbox, blah, blah, blah. They are tied to the brand in some way. Like, this helps the Xbox brand if it does well. So yeah, we don't sit around and go, fuck Metascore, fuck this, fuck reviews. We're not like that. We're kind of like, hey, reviews do matter. It does help people that are maybe on the fence be like, hey,
they were meant to help people, right? In the beginning, and people fucking found like, I think I'll use this as a weapon.
They manipulated it to be like, ha ha ha, make fun of other people, and it's like, dude, stop being stupid. Like, that's just the way it is. But I'm looking forward to playing it. It looks insane. The gameplay that I saw on Rand's video, like, I stopped it because I was like, oh, dude, the combat looks way better. Like, the combat looks a lot better, and the everything just looks way better. I want to see it in my 4K.
The
TV.
combat gets better in the first Ori too. If you get past 2 hours, Zocker.
I mean, I couldn't. I got bored.
I died.
It gets really good.
It's a good game. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are just now beating Ori 1. Shout out to Fraud Addict and who else just beat it? I don't know, man. Like,
I beat that when it came out.
Yeah.
Kiss Move still ain't beat it, I think. Or he might have just
that's who I was in a party with. Kid was trying to beat it last night or the night before. And it looks gorgeous. The HDR is going to be fire. Colt, I know you haven't really run through the first one yet.
I have
the easiest game to get into.
I know. I've been playing it the past couple weeks, trying to get. Oh, I suck at that game so bad. Yeah, it's horrible. It's a bad moment for me. But yeah, I'm not very good at it.
You're still gonna give the second one a go.
Oh yeah. I just wish I would have finished the one before tonight. But who cares? So people were saying, Xbox guys are playing Ori in the Blind Forest right now because of the sequel. And like, yeah. Who cares? Like, why didn't they play these games before? Like, who cares?
Honestly, if you're gonna give people shit for being hyped about a sequel and they didn't play the first one, then you're an idiot. Like Rand even said, he goes, "You don't need to play the first one. Like honestly, to play the second one." He said that in his review, and I was glad to hear that. I get it. Like with like to me, it enriches it. Like the franchise. Like if you didn't play God of War 1, 2, and 3, and you played the new one, like you're gonna enjoy the new one a lot, but you're not gonna have the same investment. Like say someone like I did, like. When the Blades came out, like I literally, like Dealer was in a party with me. I like shit myself. Like I get it. Like there's certain moments like that where you're gonna be taking over, right?
I told you to play that, bitch. It's fucking. It's still, man.
I didn't have a PS4 until like the September that after it came out, and then that was the first game I played on it.
It's probably the best game of the generation. Well, one of like that or Witcher 3. God of War, Witcher 3, my favorite game of all time.
I have to go God of War, bro. Like I actually started playing it.
It's the one game you beat last year.
I'll kill you, bitch. You know it's not.
All right. So I mean, Colt, you're still gonna give it a try. I know, Fonz, you're excited for this. I want to get to Tim at you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm playing that, man. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. Although since I've got to work a crazy schedule, I'm gonna have to wait till Friday to play it. But I can't wait, man. The first game was really awesome. This game, after watching Rand's review, it got me even more excited for the game.
Exactly.
To hear that the story is even better, as he put it. That's great, man.
And Rand didn't say in his review that the motherfucker had to factory reset his console just to play the game.
Oh,
what a fraud!
Well, maybe he forgot, but I mean, he was very open with the problems he's had. But yeah, I mean, he had to factory resetting your console isn't as big a deal as it used to. You can keep all your games and apps installed and stuff now, but to have to do that to play a game,
it's a lot of work.
It's kind of bullshit. But apparently. And we're hearing some reports after it's come out, the day one patch is legitimately fixed a lot of these issues, so that's good. It just sucks that the reviewers had to kind of haggle with it, Guillermo Cabillo, the legend, he says, don't know if it's been mentioned, but the new COD Warzone requires Xbox Live Gold to play, but it isn't free to play. Wait.
This has changed, Dealer. Let me take this one. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
So last night I tweeted out, and Dealer rebuked me for not wording it a little bit better. But I Colt. Yeah, this is how Dealer and I work. He's like, Colt?
No, I said this is why you got ripped in half. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So I did. I got ripped in half because I said that Xbox is the only platform or console that has free to play behind the paywall, and it needs to stop. I said, look at Fortnite.
We've been saying it
one
for
of the
years.
most popular games that people would skip the Xbox platform because they can play it for free everywhere else. So anyway, that was my tweet, and I was kind of sad to see a ton of Xbox fans call me cheap,
damage controlling their asses off.
yeah, damage controlling really bad. I was a little bit. I don't care. I'm fine with people disagreeing with me, but I was a little bit. It's not a good look. And I did a video that has 500-some thousand views almost 2 years ago asking for Microsoft to remove this free-to-pay paywall and consider bundling in xCloud with Gold to remove the multiplayer paywall as well. But this was just about free-to-play games. So it turns out, so that's my sob story, right? So it turns out that on the PlayStation site, it says you do need PlayStation Plus to play this new Call of Duty mode. Even though the Activision tweet and website says that PS Plus is not required. So I don't know where the miscommunication is coming from. The PlayStation's blog or site. Kids Moose's Colt Cheapwood. I will smack you. That was so funny. Somebody called me cheap. I'm like, I buy like 30 games a year. I have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate paid up 2 years.
Colt Cheapwood.
I'm out of money now.
You lying, Colt Cheapwood.
Well, I don't know. It's a little weird after like penny pinching Colt just said. I think that the Blizzard honestly said the same thing. Like they don't know. Like I think it's like you could play it or download it, but like you get it for free on Wednesday or something. Like it was weird. Like Mike Ibarra put something out like that, and I was like, wait, what? I was like, I don't understand what's happening with this thing. Like, how is it like gradually coming out and then you get it for free? Like, what's happening?
What's this mode called, Zucker?
If you own the game, it came unlocked at about 11. I started playing it like 11 o'clock this morning. And for those that didn't buy the game, it became unlocked at 3 p.m.
So do you need PS Plus to play it on PlayStation or not?
I am trying to find it
that's
right
not
now.
good. That's going the opposite way of where I'm hoping things go. Like Xbox needs
Here
to
it is, right here. Here it is, right here. Activision says Warzone does not require PS Plus, but Xbox One owners aren't as lucky. I go to PlayStation Store, PlayStation.com.English/US says, shoot, I said it right here. Paid PlayStation Plus subscription required for online multiplayer.
Maybe that's just an error. It's more likely that it's an error on the website.
Is that for just the regular? Welcome to Warzone.
I think it's the regular. It's not Warzone. Warzone's not multiplayer. Warzone's a different mode.
Is it Warzone?
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
The Battle
Battle
Royale.
Royale. Yeah.
Yeah, because free-to-play games you can play without PS.
So what's the one called that? Because somebody sent me a screenshot, and I said that doesn't make sense. What's the name of the mode called?
Warzone.
Yeah, it's
See,
called,
that's what I'm looking
it's
up.
called Warzone,
Warzone is the Battle
motherfucker.
Royale.
Yeah, but multiplayer is the mode where you like in the game where you launch Call of Duty and you go to multiplayer mode, and then there's like campaign mode, right? So the multiplayer mode is not Warzone.
Yeah,
Okay.
a separate, I believe. It seems.
And watching this Fight Night footage, we need a new Fight Night, EA.
By the way, on just my opinion on Ori. So I beat the first one.
You
I
liked
thought
it, right?
I thought it was really good. Definitely, I already got this. This one pre-order. Going to be definitely playing that at midnight. I don't blame people for. I mean, the game definitely doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't tell you where to go in any type of way. I mean, you kind of got to figure it out. I got lost at one point, but I had to run all over the map, trying to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do next. So some people run into that and they're just like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm done with this. So I don't completely blame people, but yeah, and I have like, I typically can't play a sequel if I didn't beat the first one. That typically it just bothers my soul. So if I don't beat the first of a game, I'm probably not going to pick up the second one.
I heard you're not allowed to like a sequel if you didn't play or beat the one before that.
Man, I think you can like it, but like there has to be a legitimate reason. I think why you didn't at least beat the first one.
Like Witcher 2, right? I didn't really care for Witcher 2.
Yeah.
But Witcher 3, like I said, was one of my favorite games of all time. I mean,
Witcher 2 is an interesting.
where is this
thing
book
because,
with all these rules in it?
Witcher's an interesting thing, right? Because
Except those people.
I bring that up all the time that people crown CD Projekt Red like this top tier developer off of one game because nobody really checked for one or two. They made one game that y'all really liked, and somehow
But it's
they're the
so
top
far
three
ahead of
now.
every other RPG, BG.
It can't
Western
be
RPG.
You got to
It
do at
crushes
least
all Japanese RPGs too. Sorry.
No, not
Yeah, easily. No hot tub scenes in Witcher. Sorry.
You
Actually,
gotta
there
do-
are.
You got to
Bonds.
do more than that.
There are. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Little feet hanging
Bonds,
out,
there's a
like,
hot tub scene in Witcher 2. You should play that again.
Yeah. No, I love Witcher 3, but it just doesn't beat all Japanese RPGs.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
easily. Woo.
I think Witcher 3 is I say it all the time. I think Witcher 3 is extremely boring. People try to get on me for it.
Come on.
I literally fell asleep playing that
You
game.
probably
and I
made
tried
it to the
multiple
first
times.
fucking. You probably made it. You're like the rat in Ori Lost. Help! You probably just didn't know what the fuck to do. That's all.
I made it like 3 hours in the first time. I was like, I'm bored out of my mind. Then people, we had this tier in our Patreon where you could like pay a certain amount and make us play any game. And someone chose Witcher 3 for me again. And I'm like, it's really
How far did
interesting
you
how
get?
people,
Just cut to the chase. How far did you get?
I got like maybe 6 hours that time.
Oh
and
my
I'm like,
God.
this is legit the most boring game I've ever.
There's like a
boring games
6 hour
I've ever
window.
played.
Like I even regretted buying it for
so
6
good.
hours. But after that, best game ever.
Oh man, and that's another.
You
That's
sound
another
like
one
Death
of my.
Stranding dealer.
That's another one of my board. That's another one of my made up the rules in my rule book. You shouldn't have to wait that long for a game to get good. That's my opinion.
You should.
Hold up,
But that's like a tutorial area.
Did you like Days Gone?
No, I put down Days Gone.
You
I
didn't,
couldn't
you
beat
didn't like
it.
Days Gone?
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
liked it.
I didn't beat it.
Yeah.
I think that game's terrible.
Well, I mean, it's got some terrible things about it, but it's not a bad
It's
game.
a 30-hour buffer.
I'm ashamed because I put in a lot of time because like typically if I don't like a game and that game was so teeter-totter, like it was like good and bad at the same time. And
Teeter-totter.
Loser.
it was so good and bad at the same time till I got to a point. where I was running into so many bugs, and I was just like, you know what, I'm done. And I
didn't run into that many bugs, man.
I ran into hella bugs.
Because you got a fly trap in your room, bitch.
Yeah, I was done with it. I couldn't beat it.
The only thing I really was upset with was the frame rates when you were on the bike. That's about it. Like everything else though ran pretty good for me. There was one time there was a
Frame
floating
Crusher.
head, but you know.
Hey, I don't know. I like Days
Crusher.
Gone. I think I gave it 78. Colt probably gave it a similar thing, but whatever. At the end of the day, we've got other topics, and we do have to thank everybody who's still rocking out with us. You guys are awesome. Hit that like button, share it out for us if you can. Let's get into the next topic, which is real quick. Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima? How do you say it? Shiitake mushrooms.
Tsushima.
They dropped a nice 4K trailer. I want to see more shit like this on Xbox. We've talked about it a billion times.
Yes.
It looks great, man, and really it's got nothing to do with
Dealer, you're
count.
being toxic, bro.
I know, right? I'm a fuckface. So basically, with this much power, 1.8 T-flops, it's the art direction they've chosen to go with that really makes the game look as realistic as it does, and I like to see some more stuff like this on Xbox's platform. At E3, Tim Dog, I mean, what are you thinking that we'll see that might be more of a focused, driven experience like this from Microsoft?
Real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but like there's rumors going around on Twitter that E3's canceled.
Yeah, and it's very possible.
It's going right now. Devolver Digital just said, cancel your E3 flights and hotels, y'all.
I just tweeted on this. Yeah, I heard this earlier today too.
After what happened in Boston, it's fucking. They're not.
It's over.
After what happened in Boston, they had a bio company had a big old thing, and 70 people are infected. They got fucked up, like basically, and it's 70 people, and it's like they're still.
I mean, if these smaller shows are getting canceled, there's no way E3's not.
The problem is, from Microsoft's perspective, and a lot of these perspectives, is that it could clear up in June. We expect it to June, but you cannot plan for something that might not happen. So they plan from literally this point to the rehearsals that are days before E3. So right now,
so you're saying Microsoft are going to do their first ever Nintendo Direct?
I do not have any information on that. I just have, unfortunately, it's I would say most definitely canceled. So like myself, I have tickets, and I have
sell them real quick before the news gets out.
I'm gonna. Unfortunately, it's a no-go this year, and it's very disappointing. But it is what it is. And listen. I heard a lot of good things about Microsoft's E3 too. But maybe they move it to Gamescom. Maybe they move it to
XO.
A direct type show.
Maybe it's just better they don't do shit this year. Just in case. I mean, do something, right? Everyone needs to do something. You can do. Like today's age, we all have the ability to watch stuff online, and these presentations have been being done by Nintendo forever, right? Like do a I don't know.
But how do you like?
I think they need to put something out. Like Ghost of Tsushima just dropped on a random fucking day, and everybody was like, like everybody just fucking lost their shit.
It's like tomorrow I'm supposed to go to the NIT tournament, or I'm supposed to go to Madison Square Garden. It's like, either you're gonna live your life or you don't live your life, but bottom line is that it's a big they're a big company. Yes, ESA is a big company. Microsoft is. If they had this type of conference and they had an outbreak like they had, they'd be killed for it. So,
people live their life, but I think it's more of an effort to stop it from doing much more damage. So
this thing's not stopping, in my opinion. We're fucked.
Jeez, Tim.
Well, it's the truth.
All right. Well, until that day happens, hey, let's play some games, right?
So people just be safe. Like honestly, like me driving to work, nobody's going to work anymore. Like people have actually and I remember one of my coworkers kept saying
going to work.
Bro, I'm literally like.
He's talking about his work.
They're talking
about restaurants are half opened, like this.
Dude, bus stops are fucking empty. Everything, like I'm driving to work, like I'm like making my way downtown, like I'm just fucking speeding. Nobody's fucking near me, and I'm just gone. And I'm like, cool. And so then I get to work, but like, because I have to be there, because whatever. But anyways, like nobody. And I remember my coworker was like, oh, it's gonna be bad if they shut a school down. They shut 3 of them, 4 of them, and then it's like, oh, it's gonna be bad if work gets affected. Work's getting shut down completely. I'm like, Jesus, what the fuck?
I'll say this. I'm not gonna say the name of that thing because it'll get fucking demonetized. But that sickness that's out there, I do think that in the summertime, if it's anything like the previous sickness, I think the seasonal temperature should kill it out. But there's no guarantee. But we're hoping for that.
I'm going Metro Exodus DLC and getting that flamethrower ready. Hey, well, I mean, either way, Ghost of Tsushima, we talked about Call of Duty, the Warfare free-to-play stuff. I did tweet about that. Doom Eternal, they got a new trailer for customizing your Doom Slayer.
Oh,
I was feeling that trailer all the way up to the goddamn unicorn outfit at the end. I was like, what the fuck? Did you guys
turned
watch
around
it?
all epic, and he turned around all epic in a unicorn trap. Like, what the fuck?
You said pink,
epic,
bitch. So you did watch it, though, right?
Oh yeah, I saw that shit.
I mean, I'm super excited for Doom. That's like on the 20th, I think. And then
Next week.
let's talk about GDC and how it was basically canceled or postponed. They're going to release some information next week officially through 2 days of streams. So they're doing a 2-day live stream type thing now instead of having the whole GDC thing. And they have a couple different talks. One of them called Xbox Series X plus Project xCloud equals next generation gaming. And then another one called GameStack Live. Here's another quote too. There's a lot. Well, let me fucking fix this shit. There's a lot more talk will come from members of the Gears 5 team, the Sea of Thieves team, and the Wasteland team as well. And then they have another talk on industries discussion on technical details regarding Xbox Series X, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to be actually dropping some information regarding the Series X at GDC in some form or another. Turn 10 was actually scheduled to talk about ray tracing there as well, which I don't know if that's part of it, but you can expect some very technical stuff. I'll most likely be covering this as a result. And yeah, I mean, what about these rumors of they're going to be showing off something like Forza Horizon 4 running at 4K 120. I mean, I can crush 4K. I haven't even checked in a while, but I'm pretty sure my GPU can just about do that on Horizon 4. Yeah, I mean, there should be that. You probably see a 4K 120 mode on something like Forza Horizon 4 even for the Series X. Wasn't that a rumor that we were hearing that they might show that off?
Yeah, that was a rumor. I don't know how much I want to give credit to that rumor, but I do think it is possible that we would see 4K ray tracing, Forza ray tracing at that event.
Oh, you're talking about ray tracing? Oh, yeah, ray tracing. Yeah, that was confirmed by Turn 10, their technical director.
Right.
Not sure if he's going to show up, though, but there were some rumors that were, they were going to show some other stuff off. Like that Forza Horizon 4 would be there running at 4K 120, and they were going to be demonstrating high frame rate mode, or at least 120. Maybe I'm misremembering the 4K. On Horizon 4 and Series X, but I'm pretty sure it was 4K 120 was the rumor. I'm not sure if that's legitimate or not. Tim Dog, do you hear anything about that at all? He's on push to talk, by the way.
I'm just fucking furious right now.
Mm-hmm.
Your mic's really low.
No, I'm just sorry. I'm furious about. What were we talking about? Forza Horizon 4?
What happened? What are you talking about?
No. What was the question?
Why are you mad? That's what I'm at.
Why
like
are
the
you
E3
mad?
thing?
That's the question.
Because I'm just fucking annoyed. I had everything set up. And
For E3. Yeah.
Tim and I were going to
Light
hold hands and
flowers.
skip down the streets of
We were all
LA.
gonna go, man.
Well, there's no confirmation.
No,
It's done. All you have to do is sneeze and it's over.
Jason
Literally.
Schreier even saying it's likely or maybe true
It's
now. So
All you
My-
have to do
my-
is just mention it.
Shout out to
I'm just
Schreier who
saying,
blocked me and I never even talked to the
if
guy.
you have a stuffy nose, they're telling people not to go to work, bro. Like if you are like even feeling sick, they're like,
All right, I don't want to go back towards this direction. So,
So what was the
Tim's a little
question?
aggravated. Did you hear about the rumors of Horizon 4 at 120 at GDC or something like that?
No, I did hear though that obviously Thomas Muller said 120. He teased it. What resolution I don't know. For the next Forza, I do think that for 120 might be in the works.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the resolution is going to be. You just got to realize that. And most TVs, unfortunately, have 60 hertz. So you have to realize what type of television you have.
It's a mode that very few people will be using,
Yeah.
right? So, and either way, I mean, they're supposed to be revealing some stuff next week. I mean,
They're going to be revealing the new Sea of Thieves patch. I know this is for the over 10 million people that play it. I got you. Hearts
Crush.
of Rage was
Fuck off.
postponed, guys. Or Hearts of Fire. It's an update with a new whatchamacallit, Tall
Hearts of
Tale,
Fire.
a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, it's for Flameheart, bro. Fucking
Tell
play
us
the
more.
story.
Tell us more. I mean, tell us more. Tell us more
I
about
will.
this.
The
Pirate
Tall Tale's
Legend?
coming, and it's a whole new Tall Tale, and it looks fucking epic. You guys, the trailer they put it out. It's gonna, yeah. I mean, my buddies are planning on playing it, but they said it was gonna come out March 11th, but they postponed it. Not sure why, but they said they're gonna be revealing more stuff about it. Maybe this is part of that. So yeah, look forward to that, and there you go. See it, these fans. I got you.
Well, sounds like you need to do a video on this, huh?
I
All right. Well,
it's
that
in
was
the works
real
already,
weird.
bitch. You don't know me.
Hey, I know BG's excited for Sea of Thieves DLC, so I mean, hopefully he's happy to hear that, and he can play that at 4K 120.
Thrilled.
Colt, the whole GDC thing. I mean, what were you hoping?
Give two craps about
he doesn't give
anything.
two craps
Nothing
about any of
even
that.
Matters.
All
no,
right.
I don't.
All right, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
All right.
All right. I had two
Everybody's
things
such
I
a
was looking
power
forward
fake
to.
now.
Uh-huh.
One was this new console.
Be nice.
The other one was going to Hardee's and getting a cheeseburger. Now it's
Ew.
out of the cards.
Hardee's. Fucking.
Got a couple of super
Were you looking
chats.
forward to smelling
Go ahead
someone's
and
chair?
I don't know where they're at, Fonz. Could you read them?
Okay, Failed Pyromancer says Microsoft probably knew about E3 being canceled, so they announced that new weekly show. Maybe show all their reveals in the next few weeks instead.
New weekly show. This is news to me, Pyromancer. What new weekly show? All my children?
And then, there's one from Aaron JF 94. He says, keep singing Zocker. No, don't.
Zazzar.
Don't fucking. I will sing. I don't want to hear your shit. I'll creed this bitch up.
And then Geezer 1916 gives us a little Zocker, giving a thumbs up.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, wow.
Little pear-shaped soccer.
Wait until they find out you don't play games.
I'll fucking beat the shit out of you. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, Sean Labrie, shout out to him as well in the chat. Sean is awesome graphic designer, does some great work.
Yep.
He just did
Sean's
Rand
man.
stuff. He just did Zocker stuff for some reason. And we should. Hey, Zocker,
Because I
don't watch
asked.
this gameplay. It's a spoiler. This is one of the first fights in Fight Night Champion.
Did you get your ass beat in it?
No.
Bro, I bought
Actually,
that.
hang on.
Every time I bought that game, I bought it to just play against my friends, and we would just beat the shit out of each other, and we sucked. I suck at this game, dude.
Okay.
I
Well,
like Fight Night. It's a good.
hey,
game.
if you're listening live, guys, almost 1,200 people still watching, watching this, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get past 500, 600 for the end of the show. We do appreciate it. And of course, 1,000 after the fact. Help us out a little bit. Check out all the panel members here. We'll get their information here in a minute. That was our final topic. Nobody seems to give a fuck about GDC, but I'm pretty excited. Some
I
technical
do.
stuff coming. I know you are, because you're looking forward to put out one of them white thumbnails. I know what you're looking forward
I
to.
make them with my feet.
He makes them with his feet.
Yeah.
So
that
shout out
sit on the
to Fonz too. He had a video yesterday, do extremely well. So that's what's that pass?
Thank you.
You subscribe to Fonzarelli, the Grounded Gamer. He's not so irritable on his own channel. And of course, you know what? It was a good show, guys. Regardless of the sickness and all that stuff, everybody stay safe. We're gonna do some outros and shout out to everybody. If I can get to super chat, you know how it is. Can't break up conversation or don't even see a lot of them. If I don't read them, that's why. And again, BG, thanks for coming by, buddy. It's good having you on and getting your take on some things. And you know, it's an interesting date given some of the news, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Broken Games HDR _ on Twitter. Unless I get banned again, kicked off Twitter for the.
Why does that keep happening?
I argue with people. I don't know how they got me the last time. Because I
This
pretty much
motherfucker
don't.
said the word and ban is.
I don't even curse anymore. Like I strictly don't curse, and somehow they still got me last time. I don't know what they reported, but they got me last time. And yeah, people.
Well, you
people
don't get
upset
banned
about
off
things.
one like case, right? Like, there's got to be somehow like when people get banned, they've been reported like over time, you know, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I guess. I don't even know anymore. But yeah, y'all can follow me on Twitter. Weapon Wheel Podcast is on Sundays at 6:30 p.m. So come check us out.
Well, thanks again, and hopefully I don't get another follow from a different Broken Games account next week. Hey, Colt, man, good show, man. Thanks for being here as
Yeah,
always.
I guess it was.
Hashtag be nice, bitch. Where can people find you? What have you been playing, by the way?
I've been playing Plague Still Innocence or in the Blind Forest, Ratchet and Clank on PS4, and yeah, I'm going to be playing Ori tonight, and then get ready for Doom and some State of Decay.
Yeah.
But I mean, none of that matters because E3's been canceled. So,
well, hey, you can save some money and buy an OLED.
I don't want to save money. I wanted to spend money. I wanted to hang out with Sean LeBrie and Tim, and I wanted to go have fun.
You could come and hang out with me at In and Out
after that.
Yeah,
after that sickness fine, he might avoid you.
Can I just say R.I.P. to Darj Knight? Poor
Darj
guy.
Knight, what happened to him?
Man, because he's the one that was like so hyped about E3 and meeting us and all this shit. And,
no, he already told me that he wasn't going. I don't think he was
supposed to go. Matt, who listens to the show.
Matt J, shout out to him.
Yeah, he was supposed to go. We were so excited. Oh, this sucks balls.
Well, I mean, hey.
The only thing, listen, as a 44-year-old guy, there's not much things in life that I find fun. I'm still a baseball fan, still a football fan, but that was one of the things genuinely just with the community and the interactions with everyone, the dinners, the stuff that you see and the fun that you have. And it's been an ongoing thing that just to cancel, it really does.
And it's a big thing to happen because E3 doesn't just get canceled, right? Like it happens every year pretty much no matter what, right? Yeah. Is this the first time it's ever been canceled?
Yeah, I think it's the first time it's ever been canceled. I'm actually sad that I can't wake up Tim during the conference when he's sleeping.
I don't get to redeem myself after that. So.
Hey, you know what? That last E3 was worth falling asleep too.
Hey,
I don't know moving forward what they can do, but like I said, the E3, the of course the announce to what's fun, but the interactions. And the people that you meet and the friends and everything, that's what it's all about. It's about the people, and that's why it sucks. And I honestly, I think E3 might be in trouble in the future.
If it's canceled this year, then they're gonna find out that hey, we don't need to go to E3. We got just as much exposure without it.
Yep.
So you're very well looking at the death of E3 potentially, and it's all due to a virus, So Rona killed you.
Well, I mean, it's a combination of Sony backing out and
E3 would still be going and it'd be fine this year, just like last year, if the sickness stuff wasn't going on. So I don't know for how much longer, but I'm saying that it only takes one canceled E3 for publishers and developers to say, well, we didn't go last year, no one did, and everyone was fine. We don't need to go next year and spend millions of dollars.
We're never going to hear about the new Batman game.
Unless you're Warner Brothers and you said fuck everybody anyway. You just fell off the face of the planet. BG, you a fan of the Batman games at all?
Yeah, I beat all of them. Man, this waiting for this next one, if it's even a Batman game, I don't know what they're doing, man.
There's a Batman game and then there's something Warner Rocksteady's working on.
And there's like 4 different rumors. Oh, it is a Batman game.
Well, they've teased things officially, though. They've actually teased a few things. They're teasing Court of Owls and all that.
The Court of Owls, and I'm like, it's just so many conflicting reports, and I'm like, what would take this long, though?
I think they didn't plan on it taking this long. I think initially, just like how Marvel pushed back, Cyberpunk pushed back, they're all pushing back to write off that next gen hype, and I think Warner Brothers said fuck it last minute and decided to probably do a similar thing.
Smart idea too.
But I'd still like to play the goddamn thing. We've had one Batman game the entire generation, and that was 5 years ago. So I'm ready. Hyped, and
you've been ready.
I know, man. I know. And that Warner Brothers Montreal team, they got a different creative director, Patrick Redding, who worked on Blacklist, Splinter Cell, Far Cry 2, stuff like that. So, but it can't be worse than the previous creative director. So. I'm definitely looking forward to this game. I just want it to be revealed. It's become the most ridiculous, drawn out tease for a game in history. I think McCaffrey said that as well. I agree 100% that it is. D-Batch, what have you been playing and where can people find you, buddy?
I've been playing Call of Duty Warzone and it's so fun, man. Upload today, so you guys want to see how it plays out, at max settings on PC at 4K, check that video out. I also did another video earlier today. A lot of people asked me yesterday and like in the past weeks about HDMI 2.1 and what's the best 4K TV. So I decided to do a video on that today.
Yeah, I'm
That's on
glad you
my-
did. I'll just link that for now on because I don't, I get a lot of those questions too, and I'm like, copy paste. Same thing I said. Like,
Yeah, so I just finally did a video on that. So you can find it on YouTube, of course, at D Batch. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at D_Batch. Great show, guys. Nice having Broken Games on here. And it was a good show.
Mhm.
Disappointing that E3's canceled. I was looking forward to going with you guys. This was going to be my first E3. I was really excited for it. And it's kind of disappointing that it's being canceled, man.
Yeah, I was on the fence before now, kind of 40, 60, but definitely not now. A grounded gamer, man. What have you been playing, buddy? Where can people find you?
Well, it's funny. I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, the DLC anyway. I have not played that before, and I picked it up for a cool $4 with the complete edition. So it was, it was the right price. So I picked that up.
$4,
I'm
really?
playing that. And well,
Yeah,
no,
the
it's
CD
just I don't
man.
usually buy DLCs for games like that.
Did you get the
I
whole
don't
game, the
do much.
complete edition?
Yeah, complete edition for like almost $5.
I picked
Yeah.
that up for 11 like a year or two ago when I rebought it.
Yeah. So so I've been
Okay.
playing that, and also I wanted to say too, I don't want people out there to listen to this show and say, man, what was Fonz doing? Why was he arguing so much about the Xbox Series X and the PS5 and the RDNA 2? Well, the thing is there's so much that we don't know out there as of yet that, it's I still go back and forth and struggle with this stuff because A, I'm not a technical guy. B, when I do look at specs and stuff, people's PCs and what they need to run certain games at 60 frames and 4K and all that, it really looks like incredible systems that you have to, have to run the games at ultra settings at 4K and all that stuff. So, it just, I have to temper my expectations for a $500 box. And yeah, that's
Fonz,
all
you
it
should know
comes
by
down
now if I tell you something's possible, it's probably going to happen.
I know, but the
And
thing
I've
is,
already done the
you
test
have to
myself.
temper your expectations.
I am. That is my tempered
Fonz
expectation.
covering
Yeah,
tracks right
Hey,
but I'm just saying, like, we're not going to see something.
What was your last video about? Why should tell people why they should come subscribe to you real quick?
They can come subscribe to me because I do weekly
He gets free foot
news
jobs. There you go.
videos. And basically
Foot
it's there's my last one was on RDNA 2,
RD.
that being sort of even though it's not confirmed, it is basically confirmed by AMD that it is going to be there for the PS5.
As
and
we've
also-
already known, elements. and
Yeah,
all that
Ghost of
stuff.
Tsushima, that's talked about, and other things. But yeah, come subscribe. Check it out.
Come subscribe to the Grounded Gamer. Hey, Zalker. Actually, Tim Dog, what have you been playing, buddy? And where can people find you, man?
They can find me in a dumpster right now.
Gosh, dang it.
What's Colt's video doing in here?
No, I'm
Sucker!
actually very annoyed right now, but actually Yakuza 0, I have to say, one of the best. No, I wouldn't say. Listen, the game not for everyone, but
Mhm.
it's one of the best voice acting and acted games. Even though it's in Japanese and the subtitles, it has English subtitles. But the voice acting and everything in this game really draws me in.
Hang on, it doesn't have English voice acting?
No, it is all Japanese.
That's another game that put me to sleep, by the way.
Trash. That's your
But,
trash.
I am really enjoying it. I finished chapter 1.
How's the
and,
gamer score on it?
What do you mean? Like
You getting achievements for it pretty often? or
yeah, you get achievements. They're not great. You get achievements. 15.
what? All right, so
Slipped
I
on a
got-
banana peel.
I
20
got-
gamer
You
score.
know, no, it's not fast like that. But the story, I have to say, the story really drew me in, and the graphics looks good on the X. I'll tell you that much. So very pleasantly surprised with that. I finished Ori. We talked about Ori. I played Ori and I finished Ori when it came out. I had 1,536 deaths. So that just tells you how much
Jesus.
time I put into that game. Through trial and
1,500
error.
in-game deaths and one real-life death.
Yes, and no, the trash can is the death right now. It's crazy. But just sorry that I'm kind of at my wits right now because Very annoying.
It's frustrating. Yeah, it's a big event. A lot of friends and people
a
come
lot
together.
of planning, a lot of I get people to stay, and we all meet up. Megatron and King David,
Optimus Prime and Bumblebee.
Yeah, all the guys. We always meet up, and they're all pissed off. Everyone's pissed off. I think it's going to get announced tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to know right now, but I mean, I've never been to E3 in my life. I went for the first time last year, and the moment I left, I couldn't wait for next year. And I mean, I don't know. I hung out with Tim for 3 or 4 days. I met Sean LeBrie. I met a bunch of people that I talked to on YouTube and Twitter, and now I consider friends. I was hoping to. KY Bob says, "Don't cry, Colt." It's so funny that they can no longer say just wait for E3. They can't make fun of us anymore. But I mean, I was really looking forward to it. I am so bummed right now. And I knew this was coming. I was trying to prepare myself that they were going to cancel it because I thought we reached a peak, and it just keeps the reports just keep getting worse.
Every fucking day. 1,000 cases.
I mean, I'm walking around my work. I walked around my work. I came around the corner, and somebody was talking to his coworker about that certain illness. And I just shook my head. I'm like, man, why don't people stop talking about it so it can be cured already? Like, I almost feel like just don't talk about it and it'll go away.
Well, that's the way I felt. Like
less education. That's the answer.
Yes, bury your head in the sand.
Hey, Brian Ingram, by the way, thanks for coming to the channel, everybody. If you want to become a channel member, hit that join button next to the subscribe button. There's like 80-something of us now. Thank you so much. But, I mean, Tim, other than that, you've been playing Yakuza. Where can people find you, on Twitter?
Twitter, xCloud, Tim Dog. Thanks, BG, for coming on. You're real knowledgeable. I've always been a fan of you and your YouTube and your podcast. So just want to for that.
Yeah, definitely.
And, just find me on Twitter. I'm ranting. So.
Hey, Zalker, where can people find you, bud, and what haven't you been playing?
I haven't been playing and beating Star Wars Battlefront 2. Game was really good. I actually enjoyed the campaign a lot.
4-hour campaign.
Looks amazing, don't it?
Yeah, dude, it looks insane. It's fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've been playing that Zombie Army 4. I tried Ori a little bit. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna jump into the second one. And yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Shut up, Fonz.
Fonz is just talking smack because he was covering his tracks earlier about the the FPS and all that. Fonz, relax, all right? No, so yeah, that's what I'm playing. You guys can find me on Twitter at Zalker87. YouTube.
What gamer score do you have on the dashboard?
Huh? What'd you say?
All right. Well,
my background on my Xbox is that graphic that somebody made about RDX 1 and 2 on PS5.
Oh,
and it's cold.
Snap.
And you switch it between that and a picture of an achievement so you remember what they look like. So
exactly,
I'm gonna go ahead and we'll go ahead and wrap this shit up. But again, thanks to everyone who showed up. About 1,300 people tonight. You guys are awesome. Hit that like button if you're still here. Share it out. Help us out a little bit. And hopefully you guys listen to the whole show and enjoy everything and be safe out there. And don't huff bleach or anything, or pine salt's not gonna fix anything, cure anything. You can just wash your hands and take a damn bath, you stinky bitch. You guys got to stay clean. That's the problem. So
bathe in bleach.
Yeah, don't do that. And if you do, blame Fonz. Again, guys, thanks for what you do. I've been playing, played a little bit of Fight Night, of course, here, and Darksiders 3. I've been getting into that. Very surprised by it. Kind of, just jumping in and actually really enjoying that game right now. I'm pretty damn close to finishing it. So that's pretty much what I've been no-lifing. And then I've been playing, I'm going to be playing Ori the Will of the Wisps tonight. And hopefully we get some information. I guess we're supposed to get some information next week from Xbox about some cool stuff. So that'll be interesting. But nonetheless, guys, thanks for what you do.
Where'd you get Darksiders 3? How'd you get it?
Game Pass.
There it goes. Bam. That's
so
all.
Game Pass is trash, right?
Yep, trash.
Killing the industry and all that shit, even though Sony do PS Now. It's all the same shit now, so it's great. But hey, we're going to go ahead and head out of here, guys. Again, let us know your thoughts. Catch it on the rewind if you haven't. And enjoy Ori and the Will of the Wisps tonight, 91 meta right now, and we'll see how that kind of unfolds. Again, we're out.
It'll be amazing.
Later, everybody.
E3's canceled, by the way.
Shut up, Cole.